Hello. I just thought I would record a quick video in between my shows. I'm in my dressing room at QVC, hence the lights. I don't have any lights like that at home. I've got 1,000,001 cat hairs at home is what I've got at home. And it's quite a down-to-earth house. And I spend a lot of my time wearing PJs in it, and I'm very happy with that. I'm already going off on a tangent and this video has only just started, but what I actually wanted to say is a huge thank you to all of you who have been commenting on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. I'm so sorry, I'm never going to be able to reply to hundreds of comments. I'm so sorry for that, but please don't think that it doesn't mean the world to me that you've been kind enough to leave them, and please don't think that I haven't read them, apart from an exception. There's one exception, and that is Facebook. On my Facebook, for some reason, and I've mentioned this before, so forgive me if you've heard this before, but when I scroll down for more comments, eventually I get to a point where it still says scroll down for more comments, and when I do, I can't. It won't actually allow me to go any further. So I am really worried that there are some people who are writing to me and might think that I'm ignoring them, or I would hate for that to be the case, especially with some of the comments being so sensitive, and because I know many of you are going through what I currently am with my cat Pixie. Poor little Pixie, she's such a beauty. But she's perfectly happy, and I'll come on to that again in a minute. But if you have left a comment for me and you haven't heard back from me, I'm really sorry. There's only one of me, and it's really hard, and I'm so incredibly grateful for all of the comments, and I try to at least put a like just to show you that, to acknowledge that I hear you and that I see you, and I appreciate you for commenting. And all of you who've commented that you're going through a similar situation, or you've lost pets in the past and it's left you heartbroken, please consider my arm virtually around you, and I'd love to be able to put my arm around you and just offer you a big mug of tea and maybe half a packet of biscuits, because why stop at one? Well, I guess there's several reasons why you ought to. My waistline is one of them. Yeah, I really do feel for you, and I'm sorry if I don't comment. It's only because there just really isn't quite enough time to do everything I'd like to do. So I'm hoping that this video reaches you if it's your comment that's maybe been missed. But also on Instagram, for some reason, when I'm liking comments, so I'm just checking the time. Okay, I'm all right. When I'm liking comments, most of the likes stay liked, but occasionally I'll like one, and then where it fills in the little heart to red to show that you've liked something, occasionally it unreddens, it deredifies, it goes clear instead of red. So basically it's like saying, nope, you didn't like that. And I think, but I did. So I'm so sorry about that, because you'll see other comments either side of yours that have been liked, that have been acknowledged by me, and you'll be thinking, why is Catherine such a XYZ, whatever. XYZ, Aziz? No, I don't. Anyway, yeah, you'll be wondering, what on earth? Why didn't she even acknowledge me when I poured my heart out to her? I really do, but I'm so sorry. So I thought I'd explain that. That's the one bane of my life about social media, is that I just don't have enough time to respond to every single comment, and it makes me feel really sad at times, but I really appreciate it. Okay, so that's that. I just wanted to mention that. But also on the subject of Pixie and her not being in pain, I'll just tell you a little something. Pixie has always been so ridiculously content. She has got a sister, Popsy Cat, many of you know that, and she's so different in terms of Popsy Cat she's a scaredy cat, bless her heart. She's so timid, so frightened, and Pixie is just not at all. She is just so laid back. Whenever I've taken her to the vets, they've always been so impressed that she's just chilled, she's just relaxed. She's very zen. And once she got in a cat fight, and I only noticed because I can't remember, I just happened to notice. I didn't notice that she was injured because of her complaining, because she didn't complain at all. She was just wandering around like, can I have some more food please? But that's all she thinks about is food. Food and sleep. But yeah, I noticed that some of her skin had been ripped right open by the other cat, and it almost looked like raw chicken exposed by the skin. It was a flap of skin, and yeah, I was really surprised. I was like, how can she not be complaining about this? So I promptly got her to the vet, and she had several stitches to the wound, and yeah, they were pretty surprised she wasn't bothered by it as well. But that's just an example of how Pixie is remarkably resilient. When I went to see the specialist yesterday, she also said she would have expected a cat in Pixie's current situation to be experiencing some pain, because this can be a very painful condition. It's bone cancer. But yet no, she's absolutely amazing. She's just like usual, just the same old Pixie, just as greedy, just as playful like a kitten. And the oncologist also said she seems very young for her age, doesn't she? She just doesn't seem her age at all. She's just such a sweetheart. I think she fell in love with her a little bit, or at least I like to think so. Oh, sorry, I could just hear people outside my dressing room. Made me jump. But yeah, so I just want to say that as long as Pixie is happy, she'll be around, she'll be sticking around. But when she's not enjoying life anymore, I'm not going to prolong her life for my selfish reasons, because she matters so much to me. So when the time is right to say goodbye, I will say goodbye. And I'll be there right until the end. I want to be, I brought her into our family, and it almost makes it sound like I gave birth to her. Obviously that's not what I'm saying. I'm not deluded. But I brought her into the family, and I'll be there with her right until the very end, because that's what family do. And so yeah, I've researched very thoroughly. I've learned so many things about pet euthanasia, about cancer in cats and dogs, about operations that can and can't be done, and all this sort of thing. Basically, Pixie had a big lump that was removed, and within the last almost 3 weeks since she had that removed, it's grown back again, but bigger, and it's not just on the zygomatic bone, which is sort of around the eye socket and the cheekbone. It's actually starting to come down here, and it's behind the eye because it's pushing the eye forward, not noticeably yet, but the vet did the oncologist did a palpation, you know, a touching of the eyes, pressing them slightly, and she said that the one on the right side, which is where it all is, it didn't move, so she believes that the cancer is growing forward. So we're just going to keep a close watch on her and make sure that she's comfortable. And if at any stage she becomes uncomfortable, then of course I'm going to be doing all the right things. And when I say I've researched thoroughly, it might sound strange to some people, but I've even watched some videos of people saying goodbye to their pets. Oh. And because I feel like knowledge is power. I think we're often frightened of the unknown, and I would rather know everything that's going to happen, because it's a part of life. It's the one inevitability that everybody is going to have to face at some point, whether you're an animal or a human. So I want to be prepared. And I saw some beautiful videos, really beautiful, and I'm so grateful to those people who allowed us into their lives, and in order to, well, I feel as though in order to help people like me who don't know what to expect because I've never been there at that moment. I've said goodbye to animals when I was very young. Animals had died, dogs and cats, but I'd never been there. And so I'm definitely going to be there every step of the way for Pixie. So I've prepared myself. And I know what's going to happen, and I've seen what happens, and what I've seen so far has been really beautiful and very respectful. And when the time comes, and I'm hoping that's a way off yet, then I feel confident that I can remain calm and peaceful and loving for her. And I'm just so blessed that I've had her in my life, because she's just the most darling little person, little individual. It would just be, so good if you could all meet her properly. But you probably will do with lots of videos that I'll be posting. But anyway, I just thought I'd make this video primarily to say thank you. So yes, thank you very, very much for all of your lovely support. Don't know what I did to deserve it, but you really are kind, and it's nice to see that kindness in the world today. So thank you, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. It may be evening. I'm waffling. I'm going. I've got 15 minutes until my next show, so I better get off for now. But anywho, I never know how to say goodbye. Gosh, that's apt, isn't it? So I will just say bye for now, and I'll see you soon.